Welcome back to the Crypto Report. I'm Blacksea, and I have another video for you guys. Today, I want to talk about Bitcoin and really take apart the market piece by piece because there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of mixed signals going on. So without further ado, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's hop into this video. So guys, today Bitcoin is trading at $63,160, basically sideways, down 0.02%, chopping around. Bitcoin dominance trading at 53.31%. When you exclude stablecoins, basically 55.3%, which I'm pretty sure we were exactly at yesterday in yesterday's video. All in all here, guys, we're sideways chopping. Lots of uncertainty. Are we going to go up? Are we going to go down? What's going to happen? We're going to take this slow and we're going to take this apart. So let's start off with Bitcoin right now on the daily. The daily is showing we have a green dot on volume to come up to the upside. Bullish. It's looking bullish. We could probably see continuation. I've been saying for a while now, I want to see daily candle closes above 65,000 before I say that we're going to start making our way back to the upside. If we don't get above that $65,000 price level on the daily, don't see daily candle closes, we probably do this sideways chop for a longer period of time, probably throughout the summer, setting us up for another large few legs up to the upside, probably starting in the fall, the end of the summer, maybe after July into August. I think that's an appropriate time frame to be looking at. But 65,000 is an important level, guys. Keep that in mind. 65,000. We want to see daily candle closes above that. And right now, we're chopping around. I know it's boring. I know that it's sometimes hard to wrap your mind around sideways price action when we've been going basically straight up for over a year. And I know that it can be confusing to see the change in the waters, but it's all part of the bigger macro cycle. We're after the halving by a few weeks. Supply shock will eventually hit in, and we'll move to the upside. But I do want to take a look here over on the daily and the weekly on Bitcoin. But first, let's take a look on the daily here. Like I said, we're not even a month after the halving yet. Okay, guys? It's pretty incredible. This usually happens. Sideways price action. I was talking about this for a while. We're probably going to sell off a little bit into the halving and have sideways chop. And that's exactly what's playing out. But I really want to talk about the correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500 right now. I know you may say, oh, Blacksea, that's boring, but guys, this is extremely important to be paying attention to. We've been basically going hand in hand with the S&P 500 with these moves recently, except for right now, literally right now, and I want to talk about that. But usually Bitcoin will deviate from the S&P 500. Every once in a while, it will deviate. The question is when, and is it in the right direction? You know, will we see the S&P 500 making a move to the upside and seeing Bitcoin spill over? That's what we don't want to see. That's usually how it ends up happening in the bear markets. But in the bull markets, sometimes we will see the S&P 500 spill over and Bitcoin make its move to the upside. But right now, it's important to pay attention to that the S&P 500 and Bitcoin are basically one and the same. I know that's a very bold statement, but it's basically one and the same right now. We're getting a little bit of a bounce on Bitcoin. The S&P 500, we're getting a little bit of a bounce on. But I do want to take a look at market cipher on the S&P 500 because there's a lot of mixed signals here. So we see the green dot on the volume, which is very bullish for the S&P 500 to set us up for a nice buy. Last time we saw a green dot on market cipher on the S&P 500, I mean, look at that. Pretty incredible. A 30% gain on the S&P 500 is nothing to scoff at all. But let's take a look at the monthly, because there's a lot of mixed signals going on here, guys. The monthly, on the S&P 500 indicates we have a red dot sell signal on the momentum wave, which last time we saw that, you can see right here, was basically when the bear market started. And we saw a 25% drawdown on the S&P 500. And we know what happened when that happened. Bitcoin took a serious tumble. Took a serious tumble, guys. We came down. We went to the bear market. But really what I'm trying to say here is there's a lot of mixed signals going on. The Federal Reserve is much more likely, they came out today and they said they're much more likely to not raise rates because people are starting to panic and fear that we're going to be raising the interest rates even more. I don't even know how that's possible, how people will survive if they do that. But they said that they're much more likely to just hold the rates where they are for a longer period of time than the American people expect than to raise the rates. So if you can pick apart that jargon, that politician speak, you know that probably the rates are going to be higher, but we're going to pause them right here. They're not going to raise them anymore, basically from what I see and from what they're saying. You know, they kind of set themselves up for being able to go in either which direction and be conditioning you for either which direction in their speak that they use. But that being said, in my opinion, I think the S&P 500 is going to be what we need to be paying close attention to. That's going to be setting us up for either a move to the upside or a move to the downside in the short term. In the short term. Very interesting seeing the sell in May and walk away, and right now we're getting this bounce on the S&P 500. And I do expect if the S&P starts to break to the previous high and break above this over here at about 5280, around that level, I would expect Bitcoin to be above 65,000 on the daily. And like I said, if we can break above 65,000 on the daily, then I expect continuation to the upside. Many things to be paying attention to, guys. There's a lot of mixed signals going on in this market right now. A lot of people don't know what's going to happen. It's all based on how this plays out to really decide, okay, now Bitcoin is making a choice in a direction. Right now, we're sideways chop. It's sideways chop, guys. And that's okay. That's okay. Like I've been saying, the longer we sideways chop for, the higher the Bitcoin price will go, and for the longer period of time the bull market will last. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Do you think that the S&P 500 will deviate with Bitcoin in a positive way? Will we see Bitcoin make moves to the upside while we see the S&P 500 spill over on the monthly? I really hope we don't see the S&P 500 spill over on the monthly. It will not be a nice time for that. Keep in mind, it is an election year. If we do see the S&P 500 spill over on the monthly, it can only be for a couple months. It could only be for a couple months, guys, because let's be honest here. Can't be talking about a recession leading into an election. It's just not on the table. It's not in the cards. If you like this type of content, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel right now. Also, go follow me on Instagram at 333Blacksea. I'll do another giveaway. If I can get to 300 followers, let's say by the end of the week, the next 4 days or so, I'll give away $300 worth of crypto to one of you guys. So go follow me there. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.